Hello, everybody. This is Ed Carbajal with Spectation of Sports. I'm speaking with Shea O'Neal, who fights next weekend at Fusion Fight League. This is a title fight, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what are your feelings going as we about to enter fight weeks? What are your feelings about the matchup and having a title on the line?
I feel good about it. I'm actually defending my belt for Fusion Fight League, so I already won it. Jumped up to 155 for my last fight to try to double up the belts. Didn't go my way. I fought Ayati Majdeen. He's a stud, but figured I'd go back to my 45 weight class, defend that belt. Feel good. Dan McElhaney, I think is how you say his last name. Solid everywhere. He's got more pro fights than I've got, but I just feel like I'm better. I'm better everywhere. But yeah, we'll see come fight night.
Yeah, I mean the interesting thing about your background that I noticed was I was looking up your record. You got a lot of submission wins. You got a heel hook submission. So are you like a submission guy? Is jiu-jitsu kind of like your gateway into MMA?
I mean, starting out, yeah. I wrestled all the way through high school, did really well, and then started fighting at 19. And so wrestling, I had my first 6 fights in the first year I started training. So wrestling was pretty much my only base that I had at the beginning. And then I won all 6 of those fights in the first round, won an amateur belt that way. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So most of the rest of my career, I was fixing the rest of the holes in my game. But again, I'd get the takedown, I'd get the submission or the ground and pound finish and come out unscathed and able to fight again. So so far that's worked for me. And then my 3 pro fights that I had before, I had about an 8-year layoff from MMA. I did boxing, kickboxing. I won a title in boxing, did jiu-jitsu and everything during that time. And then I came back and kind of wanted to show off my striking, and he shot on me. And so then I ended up, that was my title fight win. And so I ended up submitting him then. But I'm ready. I'm capable for wherever the fight goes. Yeah, my hands are good. Everybody that trains with me knows that. It's just, yeah, if you want to play around on the ground with me, then
It's going to be a bad night.
that's up to you.
So, you mentioned your opponent already, Daniel McElhaney. I'm having trouble with his name too. How do you think he measures up? I know you just mentioned his experience, but like when you measure I mean, it looks like obviously fighting is a way of life, judging by the background for you. Uh, how do you think you measure up against somebody like with that amount of experience?
I'm sorry, cut out just a little bit there.
Just the
Could you
matchup
repeat
against
that?
Daniel. How do you think you mentioned Daniel's experience? How do you think you match up against somebody like that, especially with what you just went through with the weight change and everything?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another fight. Whatever's going to happen in the cage is going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I've been at this for 13 years. You know, I did have a little bit of a hiatus from MMA, but I was training that whole time. I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu during that time. I was boxing and I was kickboxing. The MMA camps just ended up being a little bit much on my body, especially after having 13 MMA fights in 2 years. And so my body kind of started breaking down, at least as far as an MMA camp. And so I took a little bit of time just to, you know, do some striking and some easier camps, I would say. They're not ever easy, but easier than, you know, all around MMA where you're having to train all facets. And then, yeah, so, I mean, I'm ready. Yeah, like I said, he's good, but that's kind of what gets me excited. Pretty much all of my opponents since this 8-year layoff have been good, you know, so it's honestly a step down in competition from my last fight. Ayati was 14-2, I think, when I fought him, maybe 14-3, something like that. So I'm no pressure. I'm used to that kind of a fight. I want people that are good. I want people that have good records and better records, and I kind of want to fight, you know, I want to fight up and keep fighting up. I don't want to fight, 0-3 cans. So.
It, you said something that kind of has to do with my next question. With you defend your title, you get the win with this upcoming opponent. What's the future look like for you? Because it sounds like you've been doing it for a while already. So are you trying to get in the UFC or PFL or anything like that?
No, we'll see, if anybody ever calls, but I just like to fight. I enjoy the competition, keeps me young, I guess. Yeah. We, my wife and I, Ariel Beck, when she was in the UFC, but Ariel O'Neill now, her and I started a gym. So we own Copper City Combat Club here in Butte, Montana. And so that keeps me busy most of the time. So no real aspirations, I should say, to go to the UFC. The level of guys we just opened 2 years ago. So the level of guys that we've already got at the gym can help me prepare for the kind of this level of pro fighting. If I was ever going to do UFC, PFL, anything else, I'm pretty realistic in the fact that I'd have to move. You can't be the big fish in a small pond. You've got to be a small fish. So I would have to kind of uproot my life, my kid's life, my wife's life. So no, it's just for fun. If I get an opportunity for, PFL, legacy, anything else like that, I'll take it as long as it's not contractual, maybe a one and done kind of thing. But yeah.
But you also said something that's really important that a lot of folks that train miss out on. It's just for fun, and it's nice to make money doing something that you love. And you're in your gym, you got your belts and everything behind you now. By having fun, can you see yourself, like you talk huge gyms in MMA, American Top Team and all that. Can we see a Copper City Fight Club kind of bring the future of the sport come from your gym?
Oh yeah. So we've already got, my wife and I have only been working with him for about a year, but Brighton Hardesty, he's 6-0 or 7-0 now. He's got the 35 belt for Fusion and defended it recently. He's a stud. And like I said, we've only had him for a year. Not a collegiate wrestling background or to PJJ black belt or anything pre-existing. And then, he's just one of a handful of guys. Kelly Merrick is a stud. He's had a couple of injuries in his last fight that he's kind of recovering from, but you'll see him on the big scene here soon. And I could keep going down the line, but yeah, absolutely. For being 2 years young, we've got a pretty strong stable of fighters already.
And what's the space like in that gym there? Like, what's square footage? I mean, it sounds like just judging by the background, it looks like it's great.
Yeah. No, the mat space, and I can kind of show it to you real quick because I'm on the mats right now. This is our whole mat space here.
Nice.
And then on the far side, right behind our Copper City logo, there's a sauna, hot tub, cold tub, full gym. And then we've got an extra little mat space off to the side where sometimes we'll do kids classes and stuff.
That's great.
Big enough.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. Are there a lot of places to train out there in Montana, or is your gym considered one of the top level ones in the area? Did you hear that one? Oh, did we cut out? I hope we didn't cut out.
I'd be, fluffing. Yeah, I might be fluffing my own feathers a little bit, but I think in the time that we've been open, we're already one of the top gyms in the state for sure. There's maybe, as far as legitimate gyms, maybe like 6 others. Montana's still kind of working its way back up. And again, a lot of guys that come from Montana, Sean O'Malley, Tim Welch, Hunter Azure, Tommy McMillan. I don't know if you've heard, I'm sure you've heard of the first two. But all of those guys were studs when they were on the local scene, but they had to move. So most of the really good guys that we get coming out of Montana end up having to go to a different gym for that exposure. So it's been taking a while for Montana to kind of to build and grow. We also don't have a commission here. So that's another hard part. So a lot of promotions don't come this way because we don't have a commission. Fusion brings in the Wyoming State Athletic Commission to work with. So, yeah. Yep. A lot of the pro fighters have to go out of state in order to outside of Fusion in order to get commissioned and sanctioned.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, you cut out a little bit in the beginning, but I heard the end piece of it with what you have in that area, so that's good to hear. Last piece, obviously, before I let you go with the fight coming up and stuff, you've already kind of given your prediction. Do you have any sponsors or anybody you want to plug or give a shout out to? Go right ahead.
So obviously, big shout out Copper City Combat Club, Evergreen Soft Tub, the Schulers. They've been big time sponsors for me for the last 10 years or so. So those guys, I'm missing a whole list of people. But those are the big ones. Jake Anderson, love you, brother. That's probably about it.
All right, Shea. Well, thank you for making time to talk. I mean, I know we're about to enter fight week, so I appreciate you making time to talk. Good luck to you, and we'll see you on Fusion Fight League.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you.
Take care.